Who do you got for tomorrow's game? Do you got the Chargers winning? Put LAC. Do you got the Lions winning? Put DET. In this video, we're going to be breaking down Lions and Chargers. This is things to watch for in this game. Now, when I do a breakdown in preseason, it's completely different from a regular season breakdown because in a regular season breakdown, I'm actually doing matchups. In this video, it's all about what we want to see, what just the Lions are going to do in this game. So let's get this video started. The game tomorrow is at 8 p.m. on NBC. Even though scores doesn't matter, if you're betting, it does. Lions are favored by 1.5 points. The total over-under is 32.5, and the underdogs is the Chargers right there at 1.5. Usually I do breakdowns, and I'm going to talk about the players and schemes versus each other in this, but it doesn't matter in this video. That is irrelevant. Why? Because it's preseason. In preseason, we're looking for what we can see in this game for our team to build up. Score doesn't matter. Wins doesn't matter. The development of players and positional groups does. So that's what we're going to be breaking down here. And the first one that I'm going to be looking at here is clearly the offensive line of the Detroit Lions. The Lions, they have a lot of new pieces on this offensive line. Frank Ragnow retired. That was a big deal. Then you have Zeitler, who left in free agency. Mahogany comes in. Now, Tate Ratledge will not be playing in this game, so we're going to still have a little bit more backups in this game, but we'll have a good idea of some of the pieces that we are wanting to have. Like, we got Kayode Usikas. We have other individuals that we're watching for to see if the development of these players, right? We're looking at the offensive line. They got Giovanni Manuz, right? We're looking at him. Colby Sorsdales, we're looking at him. These are the type of guys that we're trying to watch in preseason to see if they can make the team. But if you're looking to say, hey, we're looking for the starting offensive line, you're not going to get that because the starting offensive line is not going to be playing. Matter of fact, Dan Campbell said these Tate Ratledge and Tyleik Williams, who are both starters, will not be playing in this game. So take that with a grain of salt. Still, we have a lot of competition on that offensive line that we need to be watching. That's what it's all about. Who's going to get these positions? Can they protect Hendon Hooker and Kyle Allen in this game? Watching that for the offensive line. Who do you got winning the game? Put DET. If you got the Lions winning the game, put LAC. If you have the Chargers. Next here is going to be the defensive line. Yes, now, look, Aiden Hutchinson's not going to be in this game. With that said, we got Ahmed Hassanien. We have a ton of players that the Lions could be looking at in this position. This may be the biggest positional group in this preseason that we're going to be watching. A lot of young players here, just a lot of young players, and we need to see them and what they can do. And it's not just like the Hassaniens who we picked up, right? It's other players who may need to have an impact on this football team. Isaac Ukwu, another one. Al-Qadim Mohammed, another one, right? Broderick Martin. We need to see Miles Adams, Chris Smith, Mitchell Agude. They're going to be in this game playing. Those players are going to be important to the Lions' depth on the defensive line. It's going to be important. It's already bad, right? We already got a bad defensive line with the injuries to Levi Onwuzurike and Joshua Pascal. So we need these young players to take that next step. We do. We need someone to take that next step. And look, and if there is not much development, it's not looking good, and it's looking sour, the Lions have time to make a move. They have a time to look at free agency. We already seen that they are interested in Matthew Judon, formerly of the Patriots and the Atlanta Falcons, bigger pass rusher, 275 type of guy who can do interior as well as the outside, and obviously a player who we've been talking about for a long time, and that is Zadarius Smith. He's going to be an important piece to this Detroit Lions defense if none of these players step up. I mean, that's what you'd have to look at because we need to have quality on this defensive line. We need to have players that we can depend on, and that's really important. One player specifically that I'm looking forward to is Isaac TeSlaa. Now, he has been making waves all in training camp. He's been in OTAs, in minicamp. He's really excelled and taken that next step. It's looking like he's got better and better in camp. He's getting open, and he's making some good plays on the field. And he potentially could be our number 3 or number 2 next year. He'd probably be our number 3 potentially this year, even though I still believe it's going to be Tim Patrick. That's what he can achieve to, right? That's what he can get to. And so for me, TeSlaa, I have all eyes on him. All the wide receivers, matter of fact, not just TeSlaa, other young receivers on this game that's trying to make this roster. Jackson Meeks in there, just trying to make a spot on this team. See what he can do. What he can do. Because it's different on the field than it is for the practice. Who do you got winning this game? Well, DET for Detroit. Lions. LAC for Los Angeles Chargers. Let's continue on here and talk about the secondary. Now, we're not going to have the starters, but there is a ton of competition in the secondary. A ton. This is one of the positional groups that there's a lot of talent. A lot of talent. And we're looking at safety 3. We're looking at other corners and what spots they're going to be in. DJ Reed, we're not going to see him, right? We're going to see Ennis Rakestraw, Maurice Norris, Dan Jackson, Lauren Strickland. Well, that's who we're looking for, these backup roles. Rock Ya-Sin. Competition at the secondary position is very high. You don't got to worry about Terrion Arnold, Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph. None of those guys. Just the backups to see who could potentially be, our backup role at corner. Because that is a big position. That is. Let's jump to the quarterbacks. And we're going to be looking at Hendon Hooker. Now, we could talk about Kyle Allen in a second, but Hendon Hooker is going to be the guy that I'm really watching here. This is Hendon Hooker versus Kyle Allen. Hendon Hooker is going to get a boatload of snaps in the preseason because we are having a battle for that quarterback too. Now, I still think it's Hendon Hooker versus Hendon Hooker, but Kyle Allen has looked pretty sharp in training camp. But we got to see, can they do it on the field against the secondary, the backups of the Chargers, and what they're going to push at them. It's going to be very vanilla. We're not going to expect to see our OC go balls wild in preseason, trick plays and all that type of stuff. It's going to be very vanilla because we don't want to give out information to the other teams. It's preseason. It doesn't matter. But the development of Hendon Hooker does. Can he go through his progressions? Can he stand in the pocket and deliver the football? We know he can run. We know what he can do with his legs. We know what he can do when he has an opportunity to use his special talents, but we got to see him do the progressions, right? Go through his reads, do the correct read, throw the football on target, at least to show that he can be a backup for the Lions this season, because if we do lose Jared Goff for a couple plays or something like that, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Because we don't want to have a bad backup. We see when a starting quarterback goes down, it's tough on a team to win a football game. But you've seen last year, Malik Willis for the Packers won a couple games. That's what we're just having, a guy who can potentially get in there and just hold the fort down if Goff is down for a couple series or for a game. Hopefully it's not the case. Hopefully none of that happens and the Lions are completely healthy. But you know how things can work out sometimes. We've seen it in the game at the playoffs. Jared Goff went down for a series. It was just a series, but it did occur. And we don't like that type of stuff. Last time I asked this question, who do you got for the Lions and Chargers game? Blow up the comment section with your answers. I'm looking at special teams here. I'm really looking at, Jake Bates. He's missed a couple of field goals in training camp. I want to see him go back at Ford Field, get an opportunity to kick a couple field goals if the Lions cannot punch it in. That would be something that we need to watch, because I just want to see. He has had a pretty down camp in regards to what we expect. I thought he'd be a little bit better, but hopefully he can get on track for this. Next, I'm going to talk about the competition at running back. We got some running back competition, not the first two, but the back three, back three, I would say. Greg Reynolds, Sione Vaki. And we just signed a running back, and there's other young running backs. So we get to see, can one of these guys step up and take over a Craig Reynolds job? Can they? Can they do that? That will be intriguing to watch. Now, the back end linebackers, too. We got some competition at the very end at the linebacker position. We got Trevor Nowaski, Anthony Pittman, Grant Stewart, who should be playing in this game, and he's a fan favorite. He could potentially be a fan favorite. He's not yet, but he's done really well in training camp. Very physical guy. He's going to make the team, but I'm excited to see what he can do for the Lions in this game, right? I'm just excited. I want to see these guys. And lastly, what we're looking forward to is not having injuries. 0 injuries on both teams. We don't need injuries. Injuries just hurt, and it doesn't have any benefit at all, even backups. You don't want to see anything like that because that hurts the depth and it hurts the team. Give me your thoughts on this game in the comments below. With that said, folks, adios.